directors of companies going into liquidation, can they claim redundancy as a creditor? The answer is yes. However, hold your horses, because it is not automatic that you will get the redundancy payment service to pay you out. Now, we have submitted a Freedom of Information Act request in relation to the number of claims that directors have been putting in respect of redundancy, arrears of pay, all that kind of stuff as employees, and the number of claims that the Insolvency Service or the Redundancy Payment Service are rejecting in insolvency cases so that they will not pay out on those claims. And the number of rejections is surprisingly high. We are talking in the last few years of rejections running at around about 40%. And the reason given in the Freedom of Information Act request for the rejection was, there were various reasons, but a dominant reason was that the directors didn't appear to qualify as an employee. Now, what we know generally, even though we don't know the specifics of that, is that, for example, if you are a director of a company and you are not, in the build-up to insolvency, submitting real-time information, you're not paying yourself minimum wage, all those sorts of features suggest that you may not have, at least in the minds of the Redundancy Payment Service, the status of a normal employee, because a normal employee would not essentially work usually without being paid minimum wage, and of course it would be unlawful in most instances to employ a normal employee and not to pay them minimum wage. But these are the sorts of signals that the Insolvency Service look for, and the Redundancy Payment Service, which is a wing of that, in terms of whether or not somebody actually has the status of an employee. And if they don't have a status of an employee, then many of those directors' claims, when a company's gone into insolvent liquidation, will not get paid out. They will not get redundancy, even if they've been working for the company for 20 years or 30 years or 40 years or whatever it is. You can still, if you stop and are essentially voluntarily being an employee in the build-up to insolvency, you can find your claim rejected. Questions, queries, concerns, give us a shout. We know insolvency inside out.